Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Ellen and I really appreciate you tuning in. Thank you so much. I wanted to cover a couple of subjects, with the first one being the butterfly effect. So you might find yourself feeling like you're a caterpillar at the moment and you're trying to kind of get rid of that extra skin and kind of come out and spread your wings, try something different. How do you go about it, right? So I would always ask, what do you do well? What do you do well? What do other people, perhaps who are surrounding you, compliment you on that you seem to get right every time? And it comes with ease, right? What are you passionate about? When you perhaps are not working, or maybe you're working, you're passionate about what you're doing at work. But perhaps at work, maybe you can take that into your private sector, right? Eventually. But what are you passionate about when you are not working? What makes you happy? What gets your juices flowing, so to speak? Your gifts. I mean, we all have gifts. So the innate abilities we all have. We all have something. You just got to figure out. You got to find that inside, that inner calling, so to speak. What makes you excited, right? What are your future dreams? What are you curious about, right? So your gifts, how do you get to them? I would always say, if you have no idea on what your gifts might be, I would, I have covered that in past videos. Ask some close friends or family members that you trust and ask them, what do you think are my strengths? Where do you think I'm excelling? What is your viewpoint on how I move forward in life? So those are the things that you really kind of want to tune into. And I'm thinking keeping your eye on the future to kind of visualize where you like to see yourself is very helpful in order to develop those wings. So you got to figure out, obviously, A, B, and C. How do you get to C, right? So if you have something that you are really good at, that you really enjoy, be it music, uh, you know, being able to sing, or perhaps an instrument that you are very good at playing. There are so many different things, like recipes, that you might want to cook that you have never cooked before. Be curious, try new things, ask others what they are doing. Maybe perhaps when you get together with them, they may turn you into something, or tune you into something that you've never thought of. So creative flow, right? It's something that you, at times, I know I have for myself, at times at work, when you're in the zone, so to speak, you, others might think you get carried away, but you don't. You kind of forget about time. You are so much in the zone that you are excelling at what you're doing, be it a project that you're working on, or perhaps you have clients, customers, patients, that you are working with, and you just forget about time. And that is one of your gifts. So if you can tune into that, and perhaps down the road, when you do not work anymore, perhaps you're retired at this point, you can take that and use it in the next part of your life. So in the next chapter, I should say. So try to figure out what are your gifts and what can you do with those gifts. How would they be of benefit in your life? So that is how you develop your wings. Try something you've never tried before. And when you achieve it, it is such a great feeling where you're just like, oh my gosh, I did this all by myself. I had zero help and I accomplished it. That is a sensational feeling. And I know you've been there at one point. We all have, it doesn't really matter what age you are. But when you accomplish something, be it with, I don't know, playing with Legos, or learning a card game or chess game or what have you, and you're winning, and you're building something that you have never thought that you could, that is, it's a sensational feeling, and that will give you the wings to maybe try something different. And before you know it, you are that butterfly, and you're going to be just flying around and try new things and be adventurous. And that's my hope for you, that you will try new things and not stop at anything. So when people, tell you perhaps that can't be done and what have you, you just tell yourself, I'm going to show them how this is getting done. And it's amazing what we can accomplish when we start believing in ourselves. But in order to do that, you need to get away from that caterpillar stage, which means try to do new things. And then, of course, use your gifts, right? And the gifts are, like I said earlier, it's usually something that you excel at. It could be, if you're running all the time, your sports, cooking, gardening. There are so many different things that when you forget about what time it is, you have found that gift. You have found that gift. So write it down. You might have several gifts that you can use down the road when you decide to leave your current position, perhaps, and you're looking for a next chapter that where you can transfer your gift into the next chapter. Wouldn't that be something that you can actually earn a living, maybe even, or just to be passionate about something that you're really good at? Because we don't always want to do the job that we are getting paid for the rest of our lives necessarily. I mean, there are a few obviously who really do love doing what they're doing. Let them do it as long as they would like. Obviously, if that's their passion, if that's your passion, go for it. But if you're looking for more balance, something where you can utilize your gifts, I would say um, try to go with something that you've never tried before, or continue doing what you're doing after work hours, and find your groove, so to speak. Find that moment where you just feel you excel. Those are your wings. So apply those. The second part that I would like to cover is, if you ever feel like you're an outsider, where you walk into a room and everyone is quiet. It can be a family setting. It can be somewhere where you are being invited to a party or what have you, gathering, and people become quiet when you walk toward them, or perhaps your family, work, you name it. That is probably due to the fact that you feel like an outsider, and they almost feel like the energy when you walk into that space of theirs, that you are apprehensive in some way, and sometimes we mirror our own feelings and our own hesitations onto others, and then they feel it, and nobody really knows what's going on. So I would say, in order to feel more of an insider eventually, I'm thinking start with small steps, like using a charm. I mean, smile more, um, and let them come to you, but be open. Body language is super important. How you conduct yourself, obviously, right? And not to walk in or towards something where there are people gathered with arms crossed, obviously. That is basically, don't even talk to me, right? So you want to be open. So, open body language is really, really important. I'm always telling my friends, we all are being given 2 ears and one mouth. So perhaps listening more, it's really important. I find again and again that people don't seem that they are being heard. They don't seem to be heard no matter where you go. It's amazing, even when you go to a little cafe or what have you, and you sit there for a while and just watch the interactions between people when they're not in their cell phones. They're barely talking. And if they are, it's usually just one person, and the other one kind of just nods and smiles and what have you. So that is not a conversation. That is you being talked at, not to. So it's important that it's a give and take, right? And that give and take should also happen at work, where people actually have a chance to express how they feel, what ideas they might have. You might be surprised that they may have some ideas that really helps the project. If you're in management, you will probably eventually find when you're open, you will find that they will call you first or they will text you first instead of texting other people for permission or have something that weighs heavily on them, or that they really just need somebody they can talk to and actually listens to them. So I'm thinking, eye contact and truly let them do the talking. I mean, we all have had a friend or two, people that we know who talk a lot, and it's almost like a runaway train. And in a way, if you look at it truly, objectively, it is probably because no one ever listens to them, and it's kind of sad. It truly is. And so I wonder sometimes if they, once they leave, if they even realize what all they said. It it's truly fascinating at times, and you find it at work too, where they're just talking so much and really not saying much to begin with, just because no one ever listens to them. But I'm thinking that if you start just to, be very calm and listen to them, that they perhaps eventually will slow down and realize that you are someone that can be trusted and you actually give them the time of day. It's important, and it's not something that you find a lot anymore. It's people are so into screens, and yeah, no one seems to really take the time anymore to truly listen to someone else. So, like I said, those 2 ears and one mouth, there's a reason for that. Otherwise, we would have two mouths, right? If we have to talk nonstop. So I'm thinking, if you want to be someone that others are trusting and are flocking to, I think it starts with you. It always starts with us, doesn't it? To really be present and truly listen. And as you slow down talking, they automatically will slow down too. They will mirror whatever you are doing. So if you are truly patient with them and you hear them, you're really there in the moment, they'll be so grateful. And it's such a great feeling when you walk away and you feel like you've helped another human being just by being present. Sometimes, it's not about even solving any issues or problems. Sometimes it's just about listening, because I think in society, it's been done less and less. And it's just a reflection of who we have become as a society. And I think we can do better. I know we can. So become that insider, the one who knows everything before anybody else does, because everyone flocks to you. But it really starts with active listening skills. And I know that you can find it somewhere in you. And it's just a whole different life that you will be living moving forward. So become that butterfly, become that insider if that's what you want in life or for yourself. And with all that being said, I thank you again for staying to the end. And I'm hoping that I will see you the next time when I have another video out. Okay? Thank you so much. And you have a wonderful day, morning, or evening, wherever you are. Thank you. Bye-bye.